You are listening to WVEB Truthsharks Radio.
Well. Hello, everyone out there in Blog Talk Radio. Well, there I go with the Blog Talk again. Hello, welcome to these podcasting streets, everyone. This is your host and friend, DJ Southeast Vince, coming at you from a place called Durham, North Carolina. And this is the Truthsharks Radio Network presentation of Black by Color Only. Welcome to the show. If you'd like to be a guest to come on to this show, I have a few little guidelines for you to follow. If you come on here and you like to use excessive profanity, ad hominem attacks, character assassinations, gaslighting, trolling, things of that sort, I will not hesitate to kick you off of this program. I want decent conversation on this program. And even though we don't have to agree with one another when it comes to that, but if you want to involve yourself in some kindergarten, sandbox, sand slinging type of rhetoric, you're going to have a very short time on this show. Once again, I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me. You can do it without being disagreeable. At the end of the day, we can agree to disagree. But anyway, just keep that in mind, and you should have a fruitful time on this show. Well, folks, I almost didn't make it in today because I was having some trouble with my equipment, but I am here. Hopefully, you are listening live, or if you're not listening live, you're listening in the archives. You know, I don't do this for numbers. I don't do this to see how many people are coming in. You know, if a lot of people do come in, that's fine. But I do this because I want to get this message out there, and whoever hears it, those are the people who are meant to hear it. So for those of you all who don't know, I live in Durham, North Carolina. And I like to talk about the discrepancies in the Black communities, being a Black person myself. I am also a born-again Christian, and basically that's where my that's the basis from where I do my show, is from my Christian faith. You know, even though I'm a Black man, I'm not a type of person who's going to come up here and defend the actions of Black people on this program simply because I'm Black. And it seems like there are people out there who think that because you are Black, you are supposed to be standing on the side of Black people. And one thing I let people know is I am a free-thinking Black man. I don't care about Black unity or anything like that. If you're not going to be united in the truth, I don't want to be united in anything else. You know, I'm not going to defend Black people for the sake of defending Black people. And Black people need to come to the understanding that we are all individuals, and even though we might all be Black, we all have a different set of goals and aspirations and dreams that we would like to accomplish. And that's why I named this program Black by Color Only. And, you know, I keep hearing about the discrepancies Black people keep having in this country, as if this country has just got it out for Black people, which they do not. And if that were the case, we wouldn't have Black people in leadership. We wouldn't be able to go anywhere we would like. You know, I've never had a problem with a white person telling me, you know, we don't want you in here, or we don't want you there, you know, go down the street and get up with your own people and everything like that. And just to let you know, my own people are the people who carry the truth, not other Black people. And I've come up in an atmosphere. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s, and I can reflect on those times when I was growing up. The people who used to bully me more than anybody were other Black people. People used to, you know, use the N-word and whatever. I don't even know why I call it N-word on this. This is my show, you know. People used to call me nigga and all that and everything. Black people. You was talking about how I talk and walk and run and all that and everything. Black people. Talking about my nappy hair. Black people. Talking about my skin color. Black people. So that's why I do this. And I've been accused of only talking about black folks. I've talked about the white folks that do it too. The Ku Klux Klan, they're just as bad. But the Ku Klux Klan has not been the problem for I'll say upwards of the last 50 years. Ku Klux Klan hasn't done anything really. And really, to be honest with you, with this woke environment we have, the Ku Klux Klan doesn't have to do anything, and they can just sit back and sip on lemonade, and they'll just turn on TV and say, "Hey, y'all, we don't have to do our thing anymore. These woke folks, they're doing it for us. They're doing our jobs for us." When they got rid of certain icons on food labels and everything, they got rid of the Cream of Wheat Man and Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's. They got rid of those icons. They got rid of the Indian lady on Land O'Lakes. Got rid of all of them. But who did they keep? Who did they keep? You still see Brawny. You still see all the white icons. You still see the Quaker Oats man and everything. Now they did have one little discrepancy where they tried to get rid of the logo of Cracker Barrel. But people fuss about that. They say, okay, we'll leave that alone. But they still didn't restore Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben or the Cream of Wheat Man or any of them. They didn't restore any of them. Okay, microphone should be back. But the people causing the turmoil out in the streets now are black folks, especially our black kids. But we want to sit there and talk about the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man, the white man. The white man's more concerned about his own. He's more concerned about his family. Yeah, there are racist white people out there. Yes, there are racist white cops out there. I'm pretty sure of it. But here's the thing, and I don't mean to sound fatalistic or anything like that. You're not going to be able to do anything about that. The sin of racism sprouts from the root of sin. When Adam and Eve committed their act in the Garden of Eden that passed sin onto all mankind, we live in a sin condition in this world. And racism is part of that. You're not going to get rid of racism. You might tamp it down. You might get it to a point where people don't express it as much. But you're not getting rid of racism. So, when the NFL does their end racism phrases in the end zones of their football stadiums, you're not going to get rid of racism. And racism isn't just the white on black variety. There's black on white racism. Oh, black people can't be racist. Yes, they can. If it is sprouted up from the root of sin, anybody can be guilty of the sin. Just like stealing. We can't sit there and say, well, only white people steal, or black people, we don't steal because, we don't have everything. So when we take something, it's not stealing. Or murder, well, we can't murder because when we kill somebody, it's from all those years we've been traumatized by slavery. I mean, you hear how much sense that makes. You hear how much sense that it makes no sense at all. So black people, you can be just as racist, if not more so, than white people are. So miss me with the thing that black people can't be racist. We can be seriously racist. But that's why I do this program. And people say, well, you're always talking about the black people. You're always talking about the black people. Well, it's because I'm black. And I care about the black communities, and I want to see them do better. That's why I talk about them so much. It's not because I don't like being black and I'm trying to shout down the black folks and everything. I know how it is to live in black communities. And people say that I'm an outlier, that I never lived in the hood or the black neighborhoods. Once again, you assume because I talk like I do that I've never had the black experience, and all you're doing is lying to yourself. That's all you're doing. Let me take you to Prince George's County, Maryland, or Southeast Washington, D.C., or any part of D.C. for that matter. Let me take you to those areas. Let me take you to the former Pinkland Court in Roanoke, Virginia. Don't tell me I'm an outlier and I don't understand the black experience or anything like that. My parents grew up in Jim Crow. They told me some stories about it. But you know what else they also told me about? They told me about the black people in their schools that gave them more flack than any white person ever did. My mother, she grew up in a place called Bristol, Tennessee. She went to a high school called Frederick Douglass High School. My mom, she didn't even know that the high school she went to was named after an abolitionist named Frederick Douglass. She didn't even know that. And this was a black school. And she said some of her teachers didn't even care if they learned the subject or anything else. Said a lot of her classmates used to make fun of her because my mom had some very big eyes and everything. And they used to call her Froggy Eyes. And every time the time comes around for them to have a high school reunion or whatever, my mom says she doesn't want to go to the high school reunion because she was hurt that bad. These were black people. These weren't white people. And my mom graduated from high school in the 60s. So, miss me with all the, the white man this and a white man that. Now we needed, and one of the main reasons why I do a show like this, one of the main reasons is we need to clean house in our own communities before we start pointing any finger at the white man. That's why I do this type of show. We need to clean up where we are now. Because we have this notion, this idea that if we deal with the white man, this will clean up every problem that the black man has. So the white man is your God, right? Is that it? The white man is your God. Oh, mighty white man, we come to you this day. We come to you to straighten up our neighborhoods, and no, it ain't gonna work like that. There was this gospel song that came out in the 80s, said, sweep around your own front door before you sweep around mine. That's what the white folks need to tell the black folks in this country. You clean up your own neighborhood. We got it going on in ours. Our neighborhoods are the cleanest. And don't even get me started on the Asian folk. Asian folk doing better than anybody else in this country, even the white folks. So when people say, oh, the white man's holding us down, well, tell me how he's holding down the Asian folks, because he's not holding them down. And see, this produces a class of people that always want to make excuses and play the victimhood games. They always want to do that without bearing some sense of responsibility for themselves, saying, hey, I need to clean things up. I need to get me a job. Let's see how I can make myself more productive. No, it's always someone else's fault why they can't get ahead. And I've seen this all my life. I've seen it all my life. Car breaks down. Bunch of men be sitting there working on the engine and everything. These white people think they know everything. Okay, well, if the white people don't know anything, then why don't you do something better then? Stop going to the white man then. Do your own thing. You think the white people don't know anything, but here you are using the white men's products, and then you're sitting there criticizing them while you're sitting there using their products, and you're not even trying to improve yourself. That's the problem I have with this whole thing. I used to hear it all my life. Oh, these white people, these white people, these white people, these white people. No, stop blaming the white man. Look at yourself. Go into your mirror. Go into your mirror. Go into your bathroom. Turn on the light. Look in the mirror. And the image that's staring back at you from the mirror, that's who you need to blame. Because we're all individuals. We all have a part to play. Yes, we have a part to play in the whole. We have a part to play in the collective. But let's keep this in mind. We are not a group think type of thing. We're not the Borg. We need to get rid of this hive mind, this tribalism. We think because someone shares your skin color that they have to think like you do, and it's not going to happen. You're going to get a few people think along your lines, but those are the people that are going to be held behind. Because they want to hold on to something that happened in the past, and they want to hold on to it so hard instead of letting go and just letting the past go so you can go on to something better. But now you want to hold on to that. You want to blame all your ills on somebody who has nothing to do with what you're going through right now. And these people that share this mentality, that share this type of mentality, these are the people that these are the people that we see at the polls all the time. Always telling people they need to vote. Vote, 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 vote. Now, they want you to vote because they want you to vote like they do. But these are the people who elect some of the stupidest people we've ever seen in government. Sheila Jackson Lee, who just passed away not too long ago. How in the world people elected her to represent them is beyond me, because that woman was dumber than a bunch of rocks. But we also had someone here recently who was gaining a lot of star power over the past couple of years, named Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett was she was a representative in Florida and in Texas, and she became well known because she got a loud mouth, and she don't take nothing from no white people. Her and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who I think Marjorie Taylor Greene, she needs to tone down her rhetoric as well. Them two had a sand pit fight a couple of years ago, and I think both of them were wrong. But Jasmine Crockett, she gained notoriety from that because she's a get my cat messing around here. Oh, but Jasmine Crockett, she got that black girl magic going on. And a lot of people like, yeah, girl, you don't let nobody disrespect you. But it's all right for her to disrespect everybody else. So here recently they did some redistricting, what they call it, gerrymandering in Texas. And she had a hissy fit because she was like, well, I won't be able to win my election without this district. So she wanted to run for the Senate. She wanted to become a senator, and everybody was like, oh yeah, Jasmine Crockett, yeah. When that lady got killed in Michigan a couple of months ago, in Minnesota, excuse me, she was up there with her crocodile tears. She got gunned down. You didn't even know that woman. You didn't care about that woman. Drive them crocodile tears. That's why I call her Jasmine Crocodile Tears Crockett. But she was running for the Senate, and a lot of people projected she wasn't going to win anyway. And when the votes came in this week, she didn't win. She didn't win. And people are upset over that. I saw videos of people screaming and, they want this white man. But he's for the party that you support, the Democrats. What's wrong with that? He's not going to do anything for us black people. So can someone please answer this question for me? Someone please answer this question for me. Why do these government officials have to do something special for the black communities? Why? Every opportunity opened up to everyone else, white folks, Asian folks, Hispanic folks, is open to us as well. So why do we need to be treated differently than everybody else? But anyway, everyone's crying about Jasmine Crockett. Oh, and then Jasmine Crockett gets up there. Now, this is a testament to how stupid this woman is, and not just to how stupid she is, but how stupid her supporters are. She gets up there and she's upset and whatever because she lost to Tallarico, who I tell people, don't be celebrating Jasmine Crockett losing her seat so soon, just like I did with Lori Lightfoot losing her job, and they replaced her with a loon up in Chicago. But here in Texas, Tallarico got the Democratic nomination, and everyone, yay, no more Jasmine Crockett. I don't celebrate so soon. The Tallarico, he looks like he's going to be a white version of Raphael Warnock, going to hide behind seminary and everything like that. And people, oh, he's a Christian, he's a preacher. Yeah, okay. But Jasmine Crockett gets up there, and she blames the Republicans for her losing the Democrat primary. That tells you how stupid she really is. What did the Republicans have to do with you losing the Democrat primary? What? Well, that's what the Republicans do. That's a problem. That's a problem that they, and see, this is a sign of an overall problem. They'll sit there, they'll complain about a certain person within their ranks, but then they'll turn around. They'll turn around and they'll vote for another boneheaded Democrat. It's like they're stuck on stupid. They don't, I mean, they're not going to sit there and say, well, you know what? We keep voting in all these Democrats. We keep on voting Democrat, 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 Democrat. Nothing gets better. So why don't we just cross that bridge and see how things will be if we vote for a Republican? They say the definition of stupidity, of insanity. They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. No, I would say that that's the definition of stupidity. That's stupidity. You vote for this person, you sit there, you complain about them, then you vote for the same person in the same party, and you think you're going to get a different result, and you don't. Because you've been told that, oh, Republicans, conservatives, MAGA, they're the devil. But you keep voting these people in and nothing gets better. Nothing gets better. But you don't say, okay, let's reach out across the aisle. Let's reach out across the aisle. Let's see what this person will do. But nah, they're not going to do that because they're convinced that Republicans are a bunch of people who don't care about black people, don't care about old people, don't care about the environment and everything. And so they're like, nah, I can't vote for a Republican, but I'm going to vote for another Democrat. And the Democrat does you wrong, and then you vote somebody else in who is worse. Brandon Johnson turned out to be a lot worse than Lori Lightfoot. And I'm having a feeling that Tallarico, if he wins the election in November, he's going to be worse than Jasmine Crockett, except he probably won't have Jasmine Crockett's lips. People won't have to hear that lip from him like they did with Jasmine Crockett. But this is the mentality of a lot of people who vote. They want to play that victimhood thing. Here comes this woman. She lived a charmed life. Now, you want to talk about somebody who didn't grow up in the hood. Jasmine Crockett did not grow up in the hood. She went to prestigious schools when she was growing up. I think she's a Rhodes Scholar, if I'm correct. Going to schools that cost tens of thousands of dollars a year to attend. But when she gets out there in the public field, she wants to say, hey, I'm just like you guys. Look at me. And everybody's like, ooh, black girl magic. I don't understand the mentality of a lot of people. I really don't. They'll say things like about myself, about me, not growing up in the hood, but she didn't grow up in the hood either. And she going out there like she, you know, they not like us and all that and doing her little dances. She grew up in a she grew up in a life a lot better than mine. I guarantee you that. I didn't have it too bad growing up, but shoot. And she had it better. She had it better than your typical white person has it in this country. And she still has it better. But she still wants to talk about the evils of white people and MAGA and Donald Trump and all that. But like I said before, she wants all that attention. She craves attention. She craves attention. That's why she does what she does. If she wants all that attention, she needs to get her a podcast. Start her a podcast. And she can get all the attention she wants. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there who will listen to her because she's already put her name out there, just like with Michelle Obama and her podcast. And I heard Michelle Obama's podcast is doing terrible. That's another one right there. Michelle Obama, she people say her podcast is just boring. Michelle Obama, she gets up there, she's always talking about the evils of the white man and all this, and I gotta straighten my hair because white people demand it, and that's why black people have their hair straightened because white people are telling them to do it. There ain't no one telling you to do anything, and people sit there and they listen to it like, this is real deep. 2 centimeters of water, but it's real deep. You're drowning in a centimeter of water. That's the rhetoric of Michelle Obama. And every now and then, whose face you gonna see on a magazine cover? Michelle Obama. She's always complaining, oh well, white people act like they don't even see me. They act like they don't even notice me. It's hard not to notice you. We know what you look like because we see you everywhere. It's crazy, man. I'm telling you. A lot of people are crazy. We are crazy. We're crazy in this country. We're living in the best country in the world right now. People, they're getting their panties in a bind. Now, this is another thing too. This is another thing. This is something that really boggles my mind. Lately, Donald Trump initiated a bombing of certain areas in Iran. People they upset about that. They upset about that. Don't Barack Obama, he did the same thing in Libya and certain other places. Nobody said anything about it, but Donald Trump does it. Oh, it's a bad thing because it's Donald Trump. Now, the Iranians, a lot of Iranian Americans or Iranian refugees who are here in America, they're celebrating. But oh no, the Democrats, they're not going to celebrate. Y'all ain't never been to Iran. You don't even know some of you all can't even tell me what Iran's capital city is. But you're only mad because Donald Trump initiated the strike. If it had been Barack Obama, y'all would have been singing Barack Obama's praises. You know I'm telling the truth. Y'all just don't like Donald Trump. Y'all just don't like Donald Trump. Anything Donald Trump does is bad. Everything he does is bad. Breathes the same oxygen you do. Nah, it's the way he breathes it. Like, oh man. Donald Trump can't win for losing. He really can't. That's why I think Donald Trump needs to shut his mouth and just do what he needs to do. Don't respond to these rascals because it's going to be the same thing. You can sit there and respond all you want to you're blue in the face. These people are still going to hate you at the end of the day. They're still going to hate you. That's why I think Donald Trump needs to tone down the narcissism. He needs to tone down his braggadociousness, if that's a word. He needs to tone it down. Just do what you need to do. Let your results speak for you. Because you sit there defending yourself and using your lips to defend yourself, people don't care. And they never will. Just do your thing. Just do what you need to do to run this country. Every year, every day, I get up and I pray that God gives him the wisdom on how to run this country. That God will open his eyes to the truth. But the only reason why people, oppose anything is because it's Donald Trump. Anything connected with Donald Trump, anything connected with Donald Trump or MAGA, and I'm so sick of this MAGA thing. I am so sick of it because a lot of problems that have been going on in this country, they've been going on for decades, long before MAGA came into play. They did the same thing with the Tea Party. They did the same thing with the Tea Party. Oh, y'all bunch of racists. You don't want to see black people get ahead. And I read the article to you last week about Jesse Jackson. You want to talk about somebody who was a sellout? There's your sellout right there, Jesse Jackson. And they once again, Jesse Jack. I didn't know anything about Jesse Jackson's funeral being scheduled, what day it would be on. I really didn't care. I'm like, Jesse Jackson's a person just like anybody else. I don't know why, we need to go out the way for and honor this man and everything and stuff like that. Whether he was honorable or not, it's not my priority. But they get up there and once again they get up there and they start talking politics during a funeral. Joe Biden gets up there. He said, I'm smarter than all of y'all. Nobody said anything about that. Just like when he said, if you can't decide whether to vote for me or Trump, you're really not black. Joe Biden could probably go up there and say, man, there's a lot of niggas up in here. And folks probably won't bat an eye. Donald Trump mentions it in just in passing, and all of a sudden he's a member of the Ku Klux Klan. But Joe Biden can sit there and talk bad about you guys out there, and y'all just take it. Y'all just take it. And I already said what if I were to die, whatever, whenever I die and everything, just put me in the ground. You want to wrap me up in a cloth or whatever, just put me in the ground. Just dig a hole, throw me in the ground, have me pushing up daisies literally. Say, man, those are some nice flowers over there. Yeah, that's Vincent over there. Vincent, yeah. His body is helping those tulips grow like they are. Oh wow, he's actually pushing up the daisies. I don't want no casket. I don't want no funeral service. Do the funeral service after you bury me. You don't even have to put a marker on my grave. Just put me in the ground. I mean, I really do feel like that. I don't care. I don't care about being put away nice or anything. I would say I would like to be cremated, but a lot of people are choosing that as an option. And, the prices of cremation are going up because a lot of people are choosing to do that. Say, just put me in the ground. Go into the woods. Dig you a little deep hole. Throw me in there. Vincent, we loved you and everything. You were sorry rascal or You owe me $10 or whatever, but say whatever you had to say about me and be done with it. I don't care what your accolades are, I don't care what you did, what your legacy is and everything. If you don't know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, all your accolades are going to be for naught. They're going to be for naught. I wanted to. I'm going to bring up another subject here. This is a story in Essence magazine. Involves a black woman with braids. Looks like your typical black woman. Woman named Krishanda Williams, 44 years old. And well, let me start it here. I get this at essence.com, the Essence magazine. A former 911 operator in Texas who repeatedly hung up on people calling for emergency services has been sentenced to 10 days in jail and 18 months of probation. I think it should be longer than that. At least 6 months. I give her 6 months. But anyway, Krishanda Williams, I ain't never heard that name before, 44, was found guilty of interference with emergency telephone calls, BBC reports. She is said to have hung up on thousands of emergency calls in Houston for more than a year. How in the world was she allowed to get away with this for more than a year? According to court documents, citizens rely on 911 operators to dispatch help in their time of need, Assistant District Attorney Lauren Reeder said in a statement. When a public servant betrays the community's trust and breaks the law, we have a responsibility to hold them criminally accountable. This story is from 2020. This story is from 2020. But it bears repeating. Williams told investigators she often hung up because she didn't want to talk to anyone at those times. Well, then you shouldn't have been employed. You shouldn't have been working there. You should have found you another job. Records show that calls she terminated included reports of robberies, speeding vehicles, and murders. Her attorney told ABC 13 that his client routinely hit not ready on her computer as calls came into the Houston Emergency Center. He says that Williams didn't realize that she was disconnecting the calls and assumed it went to another operator who was ready to take that call. She might have been bad at her job, but she is not a criminal. 911? Come on now. She may have been bad at her job, but she is not a criminal, Williams said, according to the local station. Williams was also ordered to attend a decision-making class and write a letter of apology. Decision-making class. They got class for everything now. Side-eye looking class, buck tooth class, whatever. Like, I would have given her 6 months. I would have given her 10 days. But this incident happened in 2020. But we want to sit here and talk about the white man. And but it has nothing to do with your race or anything like that. I hear a lot of people talk about I hear a lot of people talking about, what are you going to do for the black folks? Someone gets elected. What are you going to do for the black folks? And I've said it several times. I said, I'll tell them, well, what are you all going to do for yourselves? Why are you waiting for us to do something? What are you waiting for us to do? You need to go out there and effect change in your own communities. Stop depending on the politicians to do what you need to do for yourself. And see, that's the thing with me. If I know I can do it for myself, I don't need you to give me an upper hand. What I need you to do is to get out the way. That's what I need you to do. Now, if there are times you can help out, that's fine. That's fine. But once I get on my feet, and I'm the type of person I'm like that. I'm like, if I can get on my feet and everything, I don't need your help. I appreciate the help, and I will always be grateful to you for your help. But if I see I can stand on my own 2 feet and get things done, I don't need your help. And see, that's where black people need to that's the type of mentality black people need to adopt today. That's the type of mentality we need to adopt. Stop trying to, we always talk about the white man this and the white man that, but we're always depending on the white man system to help us out. And really, it's not about the white man. It's not the white man system or anything like that. It's really not. The country we live in today has nothing to do with white supremacy or anything like that. I hear a lot of people talk about that the United States is a bastion of white supremacy and all. This has nothing to do with white supremacy. This has to do with freedom and doing the right thing. I'm able to do what I'm doing right now because I live in a free country. If I lived in Iran or whatever, I'd be having to hide and duck or whatever. But I'm able to do this because I live in a free country. There are people who want to wear down that freedom, but we still live in a free country. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm able to do what I do. I've been doing this since 2009 when, Blog Talk Radio was around. A lot of times my introduction on Blog Talk Radio, I'm still, I got to break myself out of that habit. But what I'm doing right now is not deemed illegal by our government. I can do whatever I want to. I can go anywhere I want to travel. My wife and I, we love to travel. I love to go to Myrtle Beach. I love to go to Florida. The only reason why I go to the DC area, I got family up there, but I don't like going to DC. If I didn't have any family up in DC, I wouldn't be going up there. I doubt it, seriously. But I like to travel. Every time I wanted to get a hotel or go to a restaurant or something, nobody has ever turned me down. Nobody's ever turned me away and said, nope, go out the door. And even if they did, I'd say, okay, well, I'll find me another place. I might call corporate. And tell them one of their workers is doing this and everything, but I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to call the police because that just gives government that much a stranglehold on people, gives them a little bit more power, and I don't like big government. I want to deal with things at my level. I don't want to get the government involved. I don't want the government coming in and telling folks, hey, we heard you all didn't allow this black person into your restaurant. We're gonna force you to accept this black person in your restaurant. And if they did that, doing that, I'd be like, no, I don't think I want to eat in that restaurant because they'd be like, oh, hey, isn't that the guy that forced me to serve black people? I'm gonna give him a little secret ingredient in my chili. you go home and you on the toilet all day, or you acting all crazy and your mind going and everything. Like, what the heck is going on here? Nah, I'll call corporate or talk to the manager and say, hey, this person was rude to me, yada, yada, yada. And if you don't do anything about it, no, I'm not going to sue you. What am I going to sue you for? Because you didn't allow me in your restaurant? What am I going to sue you for? You go right ahead. I hope you're prosperous in your business. But I tell everybody, if they want to come to your business, your place of business, I say, hey, Vincent, hey, that restaurant over there, you been over there? Yeah, I've been there. How's the food? I don't know. They didn't want me to, they don't allow black people in there. What? They don't? I said, yeah. So what'd you do about it? I found me a place where they would allow black people. I'm not going to sit there and call the police. What? You didn't call the police? Man, I would have called the police. I would have sued them. And well, see, that's your problem. You're greedy. They wouldn't let me in their restaurant. Okay, well, I can talk to your manager. I can talk to corporate. I'll do that. That's about as far as I'll go. But as far as calling the police and getting the government involved, no. No. Especially in this day and age, there might be a few restaurants where they don't allow black people. I don't know what they are. There might be a few of them out there. But there are way more. There are way more restaurants out there who will accept someone of my skin tone. So I'm not going to sweat it. But here recently, let me pull this story up. I should have already had it up, but just give me a second here. This story came up this week. It was about some MAGA folks who went to I think it was a Chipotle, if I'm correct. I'm still trying to find the story. Should have had this ready. Just bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Let me do it this way. Okay. Let me do this.
Right? Which is discrimination. Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're
Smoothie
discriminating
King.
and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on. Okay, well, you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. That is discrimination. Okay, well, have a great day. That is illegal. That's illegal. I said Trump discriminates us. It has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie. Okay, but that's what you support. That's what you talk about. You don't. But you don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King. You're gonna no longer have your job. Literally. I'm confused. Is this a joke? Good luck maintaining your employment. I don't care. Have a great day. When your company is charged, yeah, you will. So literally, Jake's wearing his hoodie. They would not serve us because Jake's wearing a Trump hoodie. Talking about discrimination.
This happened at a local Smoothie King in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The employees refused to serve a Trump supporter wearing MAGA merch. Here's what happens next.
It is embarrassing. No, what's embarrassing is that we're American citizens and I wanted to get a smoothie. Because my manager's here, she said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you, okay?
But then, hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not
discrimination.
We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we
not
did.
due to political views, though. Not due to
You
political
asked her
views.
who was wrong, and she said that she was uncomfortable,
it's a
right or
crime.
wrong. You asked the question, she answered, have a great day. Have a great day. The door is right there. Have a great day. How embarrassing. Have a great day. Call the police. Wow.
Discrimination.
Yeah, I am going to call the police.
The fallout has only begun. Here's the workers' angle.
We don't support that. Our company's not about that. Like, we're not really comfortable with that. Okay, well, you can have a great day because we have the right to refuse service, so.
Okay, so you're discriminating, right?
So we're just. You're getting loud, sir. Like.
That's fine. We'll leave.
Okay, thank you. Like, no, we're not serving Trump supporters. You have a great day.
What's your name?
You have a great day. I'm worried. I'm confused if this is a joke too. Like, we're questioning the same thing. Okay. Because you're Trump supporters. They're going on Facebook Lives because they're Trump supporters. Did Trump just not start a war yesterday?
You're refusing service at this establishment because of political views, right? Which is discrimination.
You know that ISIS going on right now?
Wait a minute. What does Trump starting a war have to do with these people wanting to get a smoothie? You see what I'm talking about? She up there, oh, you're a Trump supporter. You're a Trump supporter. We had the right to we have a right to discourage service. She doesn't even own the place. She just works there. She is not corporate. She is not a manager. Talking about we have the right to deny service to anyone. No, you don't. And you hear, but I can guarantee you, let me tell you all something. I can guarantee you, if this woman went into a restaurant, and yeah, it's wrong to deny service to someone, but hey, if it's not against the law, then hey, but it is wrong. It is wrong because of political views or skin color or anything like that. But I can guarantee you, if she were to go into a restaurant and they said, we don't serve black people here, she will be all up in her feelings. She'll be calling the police. She'll be getting on CNN and, oh, I felt so discriminated. But she's doing the same thing to these people. And all these people wanted, the man just walked in there with a MAGA hoodie on. He just walked in there with a MAGA hoodie. And they said, hey, I want to, and they were saying, this is discrimination. This is wrong. Yes, it's wrong. And they say, yeah, we are going to call the police. I wouldn't call the police. I'd call corporate. I'd call their manager. And I say, these people refuse service to me because I was wearing a MAGA hoodie on. And she was saying, oh, well, these people are, they feel uncomfortable. Oh, okay. So if you went to a restaurant and they felt uncomfortable because you were black, oh, all of a sudden there'll be a problem with it. She would not sit there and say, oh, okay, well, I'll just go somewhere else. No, she wouldn't do that. You see the hypocrisy in this? Oh, y'all did that to us, so we're going to do it back to you. That's basically what they're doing. Had the right to deny service to anyone. You don't even own the restaurant. You're just a cashier. You're just all up in your feelings because someone's wearing MAGA, because MAGA is so triggering to a lot of people. Look, I'm like this. If I own a restaurant, you came in there with a Nazi symbol on your hoodie, I'm still going to serve you. I don't like Nazism. I don't agree with it. But I'm still going to serve you. But if you come in there and you do something illegal, like, you know what? You come in there you can do your little Nazi salute too. See, Kyle, you can do that too. I'll still serve you. But you come in there and you in any way want to disrupt my business or anything, then we got a problem. And she up there talking about, didn't he start a war yesterday? What's that got to do with me getting a smoothie? You see how stupid these people are?
Yeah, but you came in here with, like... Okay, well, you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. I asked you if everything was okay. You said you don't feel comfortable serving me because of my husband's hoodie. Yes. Okay, well, have a great day. Like, you're discriminating us. So that's illegal. Okay. Trump discriminates us. Right. What does it have to do with us wanting a smoothie? Okay, but that's what you support.
She up there, Trump discriminates us. What are you talking about? Discriminates us. What? How does he discriminate us? What does that mean? She can't even talk straight. Oh, you mean this Trump discriminates against us? Okay, so how does he discriminate against us? How? Talking about have a great day, have a great day. I guarantee you, this woman went into a restaurant and they said, we do not serve black people in here. She will be all over them phones. Ben Crump and Al Sharpton, they'll have dollar signs in their eyes. I guarantee you.
That's what you love, though. So go ahead, have a great day. Okay, have a great day. Like, why are they still here? Why are they still here? Okay, that's fine. Like, you're just making it uncomfortable. I don't care. Like, have a great day. Get out. Go. Go. Get out. Like, he's like, go. Like, are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed? That's embarrassing. You guys supporting Trump, that's embarrassing for you. That's embarrassing for you guys. It's not embarrassing because
says it's embarrassing for them because they support Trump. I'll tell you what's embarrassing is supporting someone like Jasmine Crockett. But anyway.
She said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you, okay? That's you know that's a crime, right? It's not, though. We have the right to refuse service here, and that's what we did. You asked her what was wrong, and she said that she was uncomfortable, right or wrong. You asked the question, she answered. Have a great day. Have a great day. The door is right there.
You do not have the right to refuse service if you are just a cashier or a worker in a restaurant. You do not have that right. You're just up in your feelings and you feel like you're powerful now because I'm a black woman. But go ahead. Let's go on.
Have a great day. Thank you. Have a great day. Call the police. Okay, what's the police going to do? What? Oh, my God. There's no way. Okay, why are you still in here? Have a good day. Like, what?
What's the latest? Smoothie King would post on Twitter. As a brand, Smoothie King is committed to ensuring our stores are a place free of discrimination of any kind, where every guest and team member is treated with care and respect. Following an investigation into an incident involving a guest who was refused service at a franchised location in Michigan yesterday, the franchise owner has taken immediate action, and the two employees involved are no longer with the business.
Good.
The franchise owner and Smoothie King corporate have reached out to the guests several times to apologize and will continue to follow up. The local owner is also taking further action and enforcing mandatory retraining for all employees that outlines our guest experience standards. A GoFundMe was set up for the fired employees. Local media would report that the page was taken down. The names of those filming the encounter in the first video are Erica Lindemeyer and her husband Jake. Now, there is a man by the same name who resides in the same state who just so happened to be booked for possession of meth, but because of a 2008 Van Buren drug conviction, the maximum sentence was doubled to 20 years. The Daily Reporter would also write shortly after the stop, Lindemeyer disappeared. He was sent to prison in 2005 for 18 months to 5 years for stealing from cars in January of that year to support a meth habit. He had a consecutive sentence of 12 to 30 more months for fleeing police 60 days later. These are the sentences from which he absconded parole. Records indicate 3 prior felonies. Attorney Shay Spivey wrote on Threads, Smoothie King has personally requested the target treatment. Black Connections would post, so when a racist customer walked in, your 2 black employees felt unsafe and chose not to serve them, and your response was to fire them? That speaks volumes. Accountability has a cost. I truly hope you have the kind of day you've earned. To Smoothie King management, there are more non-MAGA supporters than there are MAGA supporters, and I hope you are prepared for the consequences of a boycott. I have never frequented a Smoothie King. Businesses that align with the MAGA movement do not deserve to succeed. If you choose to protect individuals associated with such harmful behaviors and ideologies, you deserve to lose your business. Newsweek would...
Smoothie King is not aligned with the MAGA movement. Y'all didn't even hear their statement. They said we're not here to discriminate against anybody. They don't care about your political affiliation or anything like that. They don't care about that. And now they're threatening to boycott them too. Trying to threaten to boycott them. Yeah, the girls should have been fired. This had nothing to do with MAGA or anything like that. And talking about these two racist people come up in there. Oh, because they wear MAGA, they're racist. Oh, okay, I got it.
Jake Lindemeyer, meanwhile, said the incident exemplifies the highly charged and occasionally confrontational political climate in the United States. Jake would say, and I quote, "All the energy is just hostile, I believe. And I honestly don't ever see a conservative doing anything like that to a liberal. It's always the other way around, them shaming us. It feels like..."
Yeah, that's what it is. You don't see conservatives doing this. Let somebody come into a Smoothie King with a "I'm with her" hat on or something like that. You know that slogan of Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton. Show me where that has happened, or Hope and Change, where they were denied service because they were wearing Hope and Change or "I'm with her." Give me an example. It's always these liberal-minded type of folks that do this type of thing, but they always want to shift the blame to the conservatives and say the conservatives are the ones who do this. They're the ones who are violent. They're the ones who we're sitting here looking at you doing it in real time, and you all know good and well you are the hostile ones, not the conservatives. But you show me one instance of a conservative denying service to somebody because that person supported Hillary Clinton or Kamala Harris. Show it to me.
Out of everybody that is watching this, it is split right down the middle of, yeah, as a business person, like those are the stances that I see being taken. Yeah, as a business person, you never really want to do this. And then there are others who agree with her cause. What I've also seen is so many people saying, oh, it's the it's the Libby Lib Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's Libby Lib Lib. And really, that is a pipeline into, it's a college town. It's a liberal college town. You know what liberal college towns produce, according to the ShamWow guy? Woke, blue-haired people. So look, man, I think that nobody is winning in this case. I understand where they're coming from. I understand how they could feel very uneasy about all of this. I also understand why some people, if they refuse service, would videotape it. I would never side, ever, with a couple who was wearing something like that, who was putting on that garb intentionally. But what I do find to be absolutely hilarious in all of this is that dude really had the freaking nerve to say, yeah, it's always the libs attacking us. Are you kidding? First off, not a liberal, but I am curious. Could you name the examples? Because I will give you one that trumps all. The amount of attacks on the American public from Trump supporters who are white nationalists. The shooting, killings in churches, libraries, synagogues, mosques, malls,
Now,
schools, birthday parties.
This
Come
dude-
on, dude. I know that you are probably in.
This dude, he's just throwing out a bunch of incidents, but he's not specifying that these were conservative people committing these atrocities. He's just coming up. Synagogues got shot up and schools and all this and everything, but he's not specifying. He's not specifying these incidents. And see, this is why I ask people whenever you talk about, what conservatives are doing, be specific. He's not specifying. He's just making a vague statement, making it sound like, yeah, conservatives do this all the time. No, they do not. No, they do not. But anyway, and he's sitting there like, well, these people, and all this and everything. But they should not have been refused service. They shouldn't have been refused service. And those ladies should have lost their jobs. They should have. And I'm not I'm not sympathetic to their cause. You don't have the right to refuse service because you do not own this restaurant. You are an employee here. We pay you to work here. You are not here to deny service to anyone. Anyone's going to deny service is going to either be corporate or manager. And really it's not right for them to do it. But hey, if you're refused service at a restaurant, go somewhere else where you won't be refused service. Yeah, it'll hurt your feelings. Yeah, it'll sting a bit, I'm pretty sure. But there are a whole lot of other places who will take you in. But they just got caught up in their feelings because these folks were wearing MAGA gear. That's what they were upset about. Oh, MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. You know, and I don't understand why people get so upset with MAGA. I really don't understand it. You didn't see this type of rhetoric. You didn't see this going around with hope and change and I'm with her. You didn't see this going on. You know, someone come in with an I'm with her. No one said, "Nah, I'm not serving you. Because you are a Hillary supporter. You're a Kamala supporter. Show me where that has happened." But when you throw out a bunch of, vague incidents and you don't specify those incidents, that's a problem. I'm trying to find something else here on this. But they think they had the moral high ground because the government backs them up, the news media backs them up, and they can just throw anything out there and they're like, "See, I shut you down." No, you didn't shut anything down because you didn't specify. All you did was make a bunch of vague statements about certain incidents, and you go into those incidents, you'll find out that a lot of these people were not conservative. How about all these incidents that have been occurring by transgendered people? Can someone explain that to me? Can someone please explain that to me? Of course you can't because you just go on your feelings and you see this incident and someone comes out and says, "Oh, that was a Trump supporter. That's the reason why they shot up that place." And then you find out, "Oh, this person was a transgender or radical from what's the name of that group that Antifa or whatever." And then you all don't even print a retraction. You don't even apologize for saying, "Hey, we got it wrong." You just let it die off. You just slink back somewhere. You don't say anything. And that's why people keep thinking that these are conservatives doing it. It ain't conservatives doing it.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on. Okay, well, you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. Hi, guys. It's Janai and Michelle. So basically, it was really busy the whole...
Okay, now this is the lunatic. This is the lunatic she's getting up and she's doing a video and she's trying to explain why she denied service to this couple. And listen to the rhetoric.
It was just me and my other coworker, and basically this couple comes in the midst of it being like super busy, so we cannot attend to them right away, and that's when we really.
It wasn't super busy in there. I've never been to a Smoothie King. Is Smoothie King usually super busy, like a McDonald's or Wendy's or anything like that? Someone let me know. But I find it hard to believe that this place was super busy. I really do. Place that specializes in smoothies, you're going to have a long line for people coming just to get a smoothie. I find that hard to believe, but I could be wrong.
Wearing Trump merch, and that's when my coworker says to me like that, like, this is making me uncomfortable, like this is weird, like, because mind you, it was really the day right after Black History Month, and hold it right there, and that's when Torta asked, "What does Black?"
She said it was the day after Black History Month. What does that have to do? And the host on here, He's a black guy. He's saying, what does that have to do with anything? That's what I'm saying. It was a day after Black History Month. So? I mean, let's see if I can go up.
When you clock into work, you represent the business, not your personal politics. I want to show you something right here. Take a look at this mess.
Right? Which is discrimination.
Yeah, we're at Smoothie King, and they're discriminating and saying we cannot get service because Jake has a Trump service on.
Okay, well,
So-
you said you were going to leave, so please just have a great day and leave so we can continue what we're doing. Like, thank you.
We were just wanting a smoothie, and you literally looked at us, and I asked you if everything was okay. You said we don't feel comfortable serving you because of my husband's hoodie. That is discrimination.
Okay, well,
Correct.
have a great day. Like,
That is illegal.
that's illegal.
I said Trump discriminates us.
That has nothing to do with us wanting a smoothie.
Okay, but that's who you support. That's who you love, though.
You
So
don't.
go ahead, have a
You
great day.
you don't own this. You don't own Smoothie King.
You're going to no longer have your job.
Literally. Like I'm confused. Is this a joke?
Good luck maintaining your employment. I don't care. Like, have a great day. When your company is charged, yeah, you will.
So literally, Jake's wearing his hoodie. They would not serve us because Jake's wearing a Trump hoodie.
Like,
Talking about discrimination.
Are you not embarrassed? That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
For you.
No, what's embarrassing is that we're American citizens, and I wanted to get a smoothie.
Because my manager was here, she said the same thing to you. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying to you. Okay?
But that's, hey, you know that's a crime, right?
It's not
Discrimination
We
is a
have the
crime.
right to refuse service here, and that's what we
Not
did.
due to political views, though. Not due to
You
political
asked her what was
views.
wrong, and she said that she was
It's okay.
uncomfortable,
It's a
right or
crime.
wrong.
It's all right.
You asked the question, and she answered. Have a great day.
That's a
Have a
crime.
great day.
Listen to how she diverting, oh, she was uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable. So whether I serve you or not has to deal with how uncomfortable I am around a MAGA hoodie. Yeah, see, this is stupidity that runs in our country. This is the stupidity that is reigning in this country. Oh, she's uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable. Have a good day. Have a good day. But I guarantee you, like I said before, if she rolled up in a restaurant and they said we don't want to serve you because you're black, she would be on that phone. Al Sharpton to get a ring. Ben Crump will get a ring. Everybody get a ring. They'll start making money. They'll be salivating because they're going to make money out of this, and they'll be protesting in front of the restaurant. They'll be telling them to shut it down. You need a boycott and all this and everything. And if I owned a job, if I had a job and this young lady came in and I knew who she was and she actually treated someone like this, she wouldn't be working for me. No. But we're black. I don't care if you're black or not. You're disrespectful. Now, I feel uncomfortable having you working in here because you're going to turn away my customers. But let me go on. And folks, this video is on a channel called John Amanchukwu. And that's why you'll hear a host come in and he'll start narrating and everything. So let me just go on with this video.
Right there. Have a great day.
How embarrassing.
Have a great day. Call the police. Okay.
Wow.
Discrimination.
Yeah, I am going to call the police.
The door is right there. Have a great day. Who taught this young girl to talk to customers like this? Where are her parents? Show me your mama, girl. Where is your dad?
Her mama probably act like that too, because a lot of these black women, if you're not a hateful black woman, I am not talking to you. I'm talking about these hateful black women raising their kids, and they'll be out cussing in front of their kids and acting a fool in front of their kids and whatever, going out and dressing any old kind of way and just saying anything in front of their kids. And then folks wonder why these kids act the way they do. It's because they're mothers. I'm going to say it. It's their mothers. Because a lot of these kids are growing up in single parent households. I was watching a video yesterday. These ladies, they were accused of shoplifting and they were being trespassed from this convenience store. Had all their kids with them. You should see how the way these ladies were dressed. One girl was pregnant. Should have seen how they were dressed, and they sitting there cussing at the cops and disrespecting the cops right there in front of their children. These are the type of people who are producing folks that grow up to be like this young lady in this Smoothie King.
Are they signing off on this just because you disagree with a Trump hat? You think it's necessary for you to discriminate against these people now? Now, who do you think is paying her salary? Who do you think is paying her $7.50 an hour? Who's paying that? Who? The customers. So 20 customers might come through the door wearing a MAGA hat, but you're going to turn them away. They're coming in to buy the overpriced $9, $10, $12, $11, or $13 smoothie. And because you think that Trump discriminates against black people, she must be talking about the 1 second inadvertent clip that was included in a voter fraud video, mistakenly, that talked about the Lion King parody. Now she's saying that because he discriminates against us, whenever I see somebody with a Trump hat or a Trump hoodie, whatever it is, that you're going to discriminate against them? Does that make sense? It doesn't. It's foolishness. Trump does not discriminate against black people. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
Okay. If you go back and look at old video clips and things of that nature and pictures of President Trump, he was always with black people. Trump became a problem when he decided to run as a Republican. But it gets worse. Take a look at more of this discrimination. Watch.
We're not serving Trump supporters. You have a great day.
What's your name?
You have a great day. I'm confused if this is a joke too. Like we're questioning the same thing. Okay. Because you're Trump supporters. They're going on Facebook Live because they're Trump supporters. Did Trump just not start a war yesterday?
So you're refusing service at this establishment because of older people, right? Which is discrimination.
Even at ISIS.
This $10 pen fixed what $1,000 worth
Boy, I hate these commercials.
Greens couldn't, because this yellow crust is why.
This is bad, y'all. This is bad. I mean, this is what happens when you enact Common Core. This is the responsibility of a failing education system in America. There is no logic within her argument.
None.
Because she is upset with Trump. She's going to turn away customers, paying customers. She doesn't understand capitalism. It's apparent that she's under the spell of socialism and communism. That's what she thinks. She thinks that the company is going to thrive anyway, irregardless of Trump supporters. I mean, 70 million people voted for the guy. Do you think your business can do without their support? Why would you want to narrow your business down to only Democrats coming through the door? That makes no sense. Man, I don't care if a Biden supporter were to come to my business to purchase something, to get something. I don't support Biden. I disagree with his policies. But the color that matters in that moment is green. I want you to make a transaction. And I can feel the way that I want to feel about that person, disagree with them. But yeah, a Biden supporter comes in. Okay, great. Hey, I'm going to sell you this smoothie. That's it. A Kamala Harris supporter comes in. Hey, come get your smoothie. Tim Walz, come in, get your smoothie. Heck, a Jasmine Crockett supporter with her foul mouth comes in. I'm going to sell them the smoothie. Now, if a person comes to a church and they want me to marry them, I'm not going to marry them unless it's a male and a female. If it's two males, two females, no, I'm not going to do that. I'll turn that person away on biblical grounds.
Yeah.
But I don't care
what
a person supports. If they're coming through my business, I am going to do business with them. I'm not going to allow their T-shirt or hat or paraphernalia to be the thing that causes me to turn them away. That's insane. That's how communists think. Take a look at her explanation right now.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. It's Janai Michelle. I'm just going to explain what happened yesterday at Smoothie King in Ann Arbor. So basically, it was really busy the whole day. It was
No, it
just me
wasn't.
and my other
No, it wasn't.
coworker. And basically, this couple comes in.
Like I said, you're not gonna get me to believe that it was that busy. That the reason why she was at. And when I saw the video, it was no one in line. Nobody was in line. It was just this couple. So it wasn't all that busy. So she's lying already.
Of it being like super busy, so we cannot attend to them right away. We're just like, hello, we'll be with you in a moment. And they're just giving us really weird looks. And so like
she's sitting there acting like we'll get with you, that she was being polite and everything, and these people were giving them funny looks. No, they were not. I tell you, these people that's how they do. They try to get the sympathy on their side when they know they are wrong. So they try to embellish the situation to make it look like, oh, we didn't do anything wrong. I mean, we were busy that day, and we told them give us a minute, and they were looking at us funny. And that's not what happened.
Kind of looking at them back, like, what's going on? And that's when we realized they're wearing Trump merch. And that's when my coworker says to me, like, that, like, this is making me uncomfortable. Like, this is weird. Like, because mind you, it was really the day right after Black History Month. And
hold it right there.
And that's when Torta asked,
what does Black History Month have to do with you discriminating against a customer? What? You mean to tell me that on the grounds of Black History Month, a month set aside to commemorate Blacks in America, to remember and reflect upon the discrimination that we endured, you now think it's necessary for you to, in the name of Black History Month, discriminate against this guy? See, she's missing a screw, y'all. The elevator isn't elevating.
Nah, she's not missing a screw. She's missing a whole bunch of screws.
Do you hear what I'm saying? The elevator isn't elevating. That's the problem. And she's on here, I mean, with a pound of makeup, 2 pounds of mascara. I mean, she got blushed on the cheeks the wrong way, on the chin, got the Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer nose. I mean, girl, this is silly. This is so 12-year-old mean girl spirited. This is ghetto. Just straight ghetto. And then she calls her a torta. A torta. Watch.
As if there was an issue, and that's when my coworker said, like,
quick.
we're uncomfortable. As if there was an issue, and comfortable, like, this is weird, like, because mind you, it was really the day right after Black History Month, and that's when Torta asked us if there was an issue, and that's when my coworker said, like, we're uncomfortable because of your sweater, of your husband's sweater, and she was taking an order on the headset for the drive-through, and then so that's why I was doing most of the talking, because she was attending to the customer, so that's why we are uncomfortable, and then that's when he immediately gets loud. As you can see, guys, in my video.
He didn't get loud.
He didn't get loud. The reason why you were doing all of the talking is because you have a big mouth. Down here in the South, we say you have a big mouth. And not mouth. You got a big mouth. MOWFF. That's why you were doing all of the talking. Because you're hateful. You're mean-spirited. You show no temperance. You show no love. You show no kindness. And you're claiming that it was so busy. Man, it wasn't busy in there.
It wasn't.
It wasn't busy.
It wasn't busy.
The video, I don't see a line coming out of the door. To be honest, and this is no knock against Smoothie King, we have one that's not too far from where I live. And it's rare that I see people go in there. Matter of fact, I asked my wife the other day, I said, man, who still goes to Smoothie King? And by the looks of it, if you have Nimrods like this girl, God help me, I'm trying to be good. If you have people like this girl working there, surely they're not going to have any business. Her manager is probably some liberal feminist nut job who hates America, probably hates men, hates authority, hates the patriarchy, hates MAGA, probably despises the American flag, is probably into all of that gender insanity stuff, and so now she feels emboldened to give the paying customer, a piece of her mind. I mean, come on, man. That's insane.
If you are sleeping in a position like this, you are wrecking your
More
body and your
commercials.
breathing. Chronic neck pain happens when your cervical
Hate these
spine is
commercials.
repeat.
And so Smoothie King just recently put out this statement. This is what they had to say about this. It says, as a brand, Smoothie King is committed to ensuring our stores are a place free of discrimination of any kind, where every guest and team member is treated with care and respect. Following an investigation into an incident involving a guest who was refused service at a franchise location in Michigan yesterday, the franchise owner has taken immediate action, and the 2 employees involved are no longer with the business.
Good.
Both the franchise owner and Smoothie King Corporate have reached out to the guest several times to apologize and will continue to follow. And we will continue to follow up, rather. The local owner is also taking further action and enforcing mandatory retraining for all employees that outlines our guest experience standards. So there you have it. They were terminated. They were fired. That's good. Keep it going. Let's make sure that these kind of people do not make it in our places of business, discriminating in the name of Black History Month. So therefore, you call someone else a slur, call the girl a torta, won't serve her husband just because of a Trump hat. So if I were to walk in wearing this hat right here, you mean to tell me that you're not going to serve me just because of my hat? Is it that serious? I mean, really? Is it that serious? You see, this is insane. You know, this, my friends, this is not maturity. What you just saw, that's not maturity. That's tribalism, and it's dangerous. Because once you justify your discrimination against people you disagree with, don't act shocked when discrimination comes back around. The Bible says in James 2, verse 1, my brethren, have not the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with respect to persons. Respect to persons means favoritism, bias, and prejudice. You don't get to pick and choose who deserves decency. This is about professionalism. If you work at Smoothie King, your job is to make smoothies, not screen political ideology. Colossians 3:23 says, and whatsoever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men.
And, you know, I'm going to pause it right there. I'd be willing to bet, I could be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet that this girl goes to church every Sunday. I'd be willing to bet that. Because a lot of these people, they do go to church. And they sit there, shout hallelujah, and thank you, Jesus, and all this and everything. But then they'll go to their jobs and act just as hateful as anybody else. Act just as hateful as anybody else. Now, when you have a potential employee coming to your restaurant or whatever, and they want to fill out the job application or whatever, one of the things I would state is, when you come here, this is not a place for your political protests. You're here to serve the customers. I don't care what the customers, their affiliation is, what their political affiliation is, or anything like that. You're going to serve the customers whether you like it or not. Now, if they disrespect you, you come to me, and I'll come and talk to the customer about it. We'll see. We'll get things ironed out that way. But the main thing I would tell people, and I think it's a necessity. I really do. You know, especially in the political climate we live in today, you need to sit down with your employees and tell them, I don't care what your political affiliation is. I don't care the political affiliation of the customers. When they come in here, yeah, he might have MAGA all over him, tattooed all over him. You do not turn him away. They are paying customers. You serve them up. Just like you would serve up somebody wearing a I'm with her t-shirt or a hat or something like that, you serve the customer. This is not a place for your political protest. I would make that straight from the get-go. I don't care where I'm working at. Now if it's something like the church or something like that, like he said earlier, he said, I'm not going to marry two men. Yeah, and I wouldn't do that either because that's against the Bible. But we're not in a church right now. We are in a restaurant, and this restaurant is open to the public to serve the public. So I don't care about your political protests. I don't care if you like to see MAGA or don't. You're going to serve my customer. Now, if you don't feel like you can do that, then you do not belong working here. And I think they did the right thing by firing those girls. Let me continue.
If you can't serve someone because of a hat, you don't need activism. You need training. And you need to be fired, just like Smoothie King fired this girl. Let me know what you think below, my friends, in the comment section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you, and God bless America.
Yeah. But that was another thing I wanted to show, but like I said earlier, if she was in the same situation, if that girl was in the same situation, she went to a restaurant, they said, we don't want to serve you here because you're black. I'm telling you, we wouldn't hear the end of it. It'll go nationwide. Folk will start blaming Trump. They'll start blaming MAGA. They'll start blaming the conservative establishment, Fox News and all this and everything else. And the nerve of this girl, who doesn't even own the restaurant, says we can refuse service to anybody. No, you can't, because you don't own anything. If you want to work in a restaurant where they discriminate against MAGA people, get your own restaurant. And all the best to you, because you're not going to have too many customers. You're not going to have too many customers. See, one thing people don't understand is we live in a world with all kinds of people. Now, if you go to if you don't want to go to a certain restaurant because they're political leanings or anything like that, that's fine. That's fine. You just find one where you can go, but you really don't have the right to protest someone's business because of their political affiliation. You really don't. They'll allow you to do it, as long as you don't disrupt the public or anything like that. They'll allow you to do it, but you really don't have the right to do that. Just go somewhere where they'll accept you. I mean, what is so wrong with that? And what is so wrong with just serving people because they're people? I mean, this see, and it's ladies like this, is young ladies like this, these young black females always got some mouth on them. She probably rehearsed herself listening to Jasmine Crockett, and she thinks she's so intelligent, and she felt like she can just talk this way to some customers. I mean, and she gets up there and she tries to make it look like that she was being polite. Oh, we had a busy day, and they were looking at me fun. They weren't looking at you funny. And no one was in line behind these people. No one. And see, that's what they do. She knows she did something wrong, so she had to embellish the situation. They were looking at me. No, they were not looking at you funny. Oh, but the other girl, she felt uncomfortable. Shoot, it's uncomfortable working in a fast food restaurant anyway. You don't complain about that, do you? You're there to serve. I don't care. Look, like I said before, I don't care if you come in with a with a I hate Christian shirt on. I don't care. I'm still going to serve you. If I meet up with you outside of the job and you ask me, do you like my shirt? I'll say no. But you're entitled to your opinion. I can tell you why I don't like that shirt, but I'm not going to protest or anything like that because you're entitled to your opinion. But these folks think that they feel so self-righteous. They feel so emboldened because, we seen Jasmine Crockett and Maxine Waters and Al Green and all these other somebodies. Raphael Warnock. And we feel like, oh, I can do the same thing too. But they never stop and think, hey, if I went into a restaurant and they didn't allow me in there because I wore a I'm with her or a Hope and Change hat or hoodie, would I like it if they told me I couldn't eat in there or they weren't going to serve me? No, they never think of that. They never think on those lines. They never think along those lines. And then when they get caught up in their mess, they want to embellish the situation like they were the ones who were the victims. No, you weren't the victim. But like I said, I wouldn't call police. I wouldn't call the police. I'll call corporate. I might come back and ask to talk to the manager. But I wouldn't get the police in on it. Nah. What they did, I wouldn't necessarily call it criminal, but it was wrong. It was wrong. They're just coming in there, and I've seen it so many times. I have never seen one instance of someone wearing a I'm with her hat or hoodie or whatever being discriminated against. Not one time. And the earlier video I showed you all, that was a man from the Young Turks, and the Young Turks, they're pro. They are viciously anti-Trump. And he's up there, oh, well, this situation and this one, and they don't even specify what they're talking about. You say, well, what did Trump show me where Trump was racist? Oh, the school shootings and him getting in people's face. Well, that's not telling me anything. Specify. Give me a specific incident. Don't give me a general comment that anybody around the world can sit there and say, yeah, well, this and that and that. No, give me, specify why Donald Trump is a racist. People still calling him a pedophile. Okay, so what makes Donald Trump to be a pedophile? There's no evidence that Donald Trump is a pedophile. But people go around, oh, he's a pedophile. He's an orange pedophile. So show me where he's a pedophile. Oh, you just heard the accusation, but there was no conviction. There was no conviction. You want to believe that he's a pedophile. That's what you want to believe. But you don't know that for a fact. Folks, I'm telling you, that's how these people are. That's exactly how they are. They believe what they want to believe. They have a selective believing system. If it's against one of their own, they don't want to believe it. But if it's against somebody that they don't like, oh, they'll believe it in the drop of a hat. But if it's against somebody that they support, oh, we gotta wait till the evidence comes out. We got to see the evidence. I hear what y'all saying, but I ain't heard that. I ain't heard that. But if it's against someone they don't like, oh yeah, they believe it right then. See, I told you all. I told you all. How many of how many of these people believe that Donald Trump was on that list, the Epstein list, and that he did something wrong? They brought out the Epstein list, and the Epstein list accused the people who were trying to accuse Donald Trump. Shows you how stupid they are. Wait a minute, if we open up that list, Donald Trump might be on that list, but I'm on that list too. They didn't think of that. They just thought, oh, Donald Trump is on the list. That means he did something. That means he did something wrong, and then it backfired on them. The very people who were talking about Trump being on Epstein list, they were on the list. We got to stop the hate, people. We got to stop the hate. Got to stop it. You're allowing your hate to infect your emotions. You allow your hate to sensitize your emotions. And every time you see something that is an object of your hate, your emotions come into play. And your intellect, your thought process has been denied because you're allowing your emotions to do the thinking for you. That's what you're doing. And you think you know something because you saw your favorite personality talking like this. You saw your favorite personality acting like this. And you think you think you're big stuff because, oh, I'm acting like this person. Yeah, I'm acting like that person. You're stupid. But yeah, if I were to have a business and I saw one of these young ladies coming up to my business, talking about they wanted a job, I'd turn them away right there. No, you're not coming in here. Nope. See you. Find somebody who will take you. I'm not taking you. Because I don't have a business. I don't open my business to make a political statement. No, I do not like the liberal mindset. I think the liberal mindset is a godless mindset. Anyone who supports abortion, homosexual marriage, over the top taxation, things like that, communist, socialist principles, things like that. No, I don't support you. But if you come into my restaurant and you say, hey, I want this and I want that and everything, I'll be like, sure, okay. And you might be wearing a socialist hat or Nazi hat or I'm with her or anything like that. I'll be like, okay, cool. Because you think you're doing something. You think you're hurting the other party when the other party has the money that goes in to support your business. And you think you're hurting them by denying them service. And the only thing you're hurting of your customers is probably their feelings. But you're really hurting yourself. That's money you could have brought into your business, into that company. And you're working for somebody else, but you think that you're a part owner of this. No, you're not a part owner. You're not a part owner. You don't own jack squat diddly in here. What you need to do is get your butt in here and get ready to do some work. I work at I work as a contractor with UNC hospitals, and when I go to work, all I'm thinking about is getting my work done. I'm pretty sure because this is UNC hospitals, UNC University of North Carolina. Universities are a bastion for liberal ideals. I don't care if you're liberal or conservative or whatever. I'm there to do a job, and I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability. I don't sit there and say, "Oh, y'all just a bunch of liberals anyway." And furthermore, just because a person is a conservative doesn't mean that they're Christian. I know a lot of conservatives who are homosexual. I don't support homosexuality. But conservatism is closer to the truth than liberalism is. Liberalism is like just throw the whole thing out. And that's why, when I come, all I know is when I go to a job. I mean, if that's the case, then you need to ask everybody who comes into your establishment, are you a conservative? Are you a liberal? Because, let me tell you this. There are probably a lot of conservative people that they served in that restaurant, in that Smoothie King, and they didn't even know they were conservative. They just, hey, here you go. So why should it be any different when someone comes in with a MAGA hoodie? Why should it be any different? So are you going to sit there and ask everybody, what's your political affiliation? Who did you vote for? Ain't none of your cotton picking business. You better give me my banana, mango, lemon, ginger smoothie or whatever they make up in there. I never been to a Smoothie King. I don't think I have. I've never been to a Smoothie King. That now I'm kind of curious about what they serve in a Smoothie King. I might try one. But you exist in this establishment to serve this establishment. You leave the political stuff to me. I'm the owner. You leave that to me. You just come in here and you deal with customers. And it really does go a long way to show what kind of person you are if you go off the handle because somebody supports an organization or a person that you don't support. And then this girl talking about, oh, it was a day after Black History Month. What? I mean, okay, so, and I guarantee you, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's thinking about. She just sees everybody else doing it. Just like the guy who did the other video that I did, he's up there talking about, Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that and everything. He don't know what he's talking about because he can't bring up a specific incident that shows that Donald Trump is a racist or that conservatives are violent or anything. They can't bring up anything. It's like an old friend of mine used to say, you don't have a toenail to stand on. You don't have a toenail to stand on. You sit here, you make up this stuff, and you don't even know what you're talking about. You really don't. And this is the type of person that a lot of these schools are pushing out. And like I said earlier, this girl probably had no father in the home, probably raised by a loudmouth cussing mama who cared more about her career than about raising her child. And didn't use discretion if she disagreed with somebody, she'll sit there and cuss somebody out right there in front of the child. You'll sit there and just right there in front of the children. They don't care. If you really cared about your child, you will watch yourself. You will watch your attitude around your children. If you really cared about your kids. But a lot of these people don't use any type of discretion. And we're wondering why. Why are these kids so bad? Because their parents ain't grown up. The father doesn't want to hang around And the mom is raising the kids and she's doing a lousy job. I'm not saying all mothers who raise kids by themselves are lousy mothers. I'm not saying that. But it's too many of these mothers out here raising these kids that are raising their kids to be hateful, raising them to be disrespectful, raising them to be little thugs. My wife works at a daycare. And they accept, I don't understand why this daycare accepts all these ghetto moms, because a lot of them are ghetto. And this one mom was getting on my wife about, something with her child or whatever. Talking about if they did this, they can sue them and everything. Then don't you do it then. And the administrator at this job, she caters to the parents. If the parents have a concern or say something, oh, this teacher, she spit in my face. She spit in your face. Okay, come on in. This lady, she said you spit in her face. Did you spit in her face? No, I didn't spit in her face. Well, she said you spit in her face. I did not spit in her face. Well, they will believe the parent before they believe their own workers who've been working with them for, 10, 15, 20 something odd years. They will believe the parents. And basically what they're doing is they're enabling the parents to be bad parents. The parents can come in and they can accuse you of anything. But until all the evidence comes out, we're going to believe the parents. But if you have a problem with the parents, they'll sit there like, oh, okay, we'll deal with it. We'll look into it. No, you won't. No, you won't. Because you care more about the parents than you do. You're afraid of the parents. You're a bunch of cowards. You're afraid of the parents. And the parents are afraid of their kids. And the administration's afraid of everybody, I think. Anyway, you all, I might talk a little bit more about that next week, about, these schools and these daycares and whatever. I might talk about that next week because it's something that needs to be said, because I look at it and, everywhere I look now, I'm always seeing a video about teachers quitting. Teachers quitting, just quitting left and right. They go to their administration or their principals or anything like that, and they get no support. My wife was telling me that they talk about these kids, how bad they are, which they are, to the administrator, and the administrator is like, well, they never treated me like that. Yeah, because you're never around. They're the ones who are taking the brunt from the parents and the kids. You're never around. Every time my wife has a problem and she needs to find her boss or whatever, boss ain't nowhere around. I remember one year they were looking for their boss. Their boss was down the street because Hillary Clinton was in town and they wanted to see Hillary Clinton speak. I say, you got to be kidding me. But they're never around. So, but I might talk about that next week. I might talk about, these schools and whatever. But anyway, you all, hopefully next week I will have another show. If you hear anything that I may have said on this show and you got questions about it, just let me know. Just let me know and do it respectfully, and don't just listen. Don't just hear me out because I'm saying it and everything. Go check out what I'm talking about and whatever. Do your do research, your do study and everything. But anyway, you all take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. Remember, tomorrow, jump your clocks ahead 1 hour. Push your clocks ahead 1 hour. Daylight savings time begins tomorrow. And until the next time, I will see you on the rebound.
You are listening to WVEB Truthsharks Radio.